What? What? Okay, okay. I can't back out of the monologue this time. I gotta do the monologue. Okay, okay, okay. More of a question, really. Obviously, some of you might have your religions that you already subscribe to. That's cool, that's cool. No skin off my back. But if you had to pick, out of all the religions you know, which one would be the coolest? The coolest, besides the one you have if you have one, what would be the coolest one to be real? Personally, Mormon's kind of cool. It's completely unbelievable. It would be pretty cool. Greek mythology too. Greek? Did someone say Greek mythology? You're tapping out? Okay. Greek mythology. You know, it's funny you mentioned Greek mythology. I remember when I was in middle school, those Rick Riordan, Percy Jackson books were coming out, and it was, or I think it was around that time. Maybe they came out a little earlier, but that was when I was reading them. And I thought Percy Jackson was cool. I thought the movie was really cool. I've had a crush on Alexandra Daddario like forever, ever since that movie came out. I didn't even know they made Sea of Monsters. Crazy. Because I actually kind of like that book. But, so, never seen the Percy Jackson TV show. I don't really want to. Like, I'm not, like, obsessed with Greek mythology. But I just think it's cool. Like, I'm a math guy. So, like, Greek symbols get used a lot. Physics, all the freaking time. Like, and so I've always just felt like I had an affinity to, like, I don't know, like ancient Greek culture, basically. Obviously, the Percy Jackson books helped, but the whole point of this. So when I was in middle school, we had to write an epic. In 6th grade, we had to write an epic, which was like, it had to be like, it was either 5 or 8 pages or something like that. Like minimum, I think it was 8 pages. Not front and back, obviously. But yeah, no, that was right before we met. Yeah. And so, I, up to that point, I'd been kind of a creative writer as a kid. I don't know if it was like kind of a rough childhood, but I would have like crazy dreams, like crazy vivid, like felt like I was on like a DMT trip for like a month or 3 months, and then I'd wake up and be like, it's only been a couple hours. Like, really, really weird dreams. And then I would wake up and then I would like write what my dream was, and I'd literally be like, wait, this was like a movie. I should write this down. And so I kind of started creative writing when I was really little, and when I had to do an epic, I was like, oh, I'll do a little Greek mythology epic. So I got clowned on when we had to do peer review, because like the 2 people who peer reviewed my paper were like, this is a Percy Jackson ripoff. This is literally a Percy Jackson ripoff. Now, I get it. I get it. But Hercules exists, guys. Hercules exists. There can be a story. Like, oh, did Percy Jackson copy Hercules? No, it's pretty different. It's similar, but it's different. You know, in my epic, it was Greek mythology related. It was a guy who, you know, comes in to finding this like crazy world, and he's mortal. He's not like a demigod or anything, and he's able to like kind of remember the guy Zachary Quinto from Heroes, how he would like take everyone's power, like he'd kill them and like take their power. That was basically kind of how it worked, where you would like, the guy just goes through and he like conquers some trial or challenge or obstacle over some god, and then he like gets some small version of that power, basically. And I thought it was fun, but my classmates didn't think so. They just immediately saw his Greek mythology, and everyone was hooked on Percy Jackson. They were like, this is a ripoff, this is a ripoff, this isn't good. And I, you know, freaking, oh, it was like probably one of the papers I spent the most time on, like, in my life, actually. And it's not like, you know, the story could be a 0 out of 10 if I went back and read it. That's not really what it's about. It's more so how people perceived the paper, right? They just immediately were like, this is like this is a ripoff, it's exactly like this, and it's not different at all. Like, good comparison, that's how Black Ops 7, Black Ops 6 feels. Everyone's just clowning, going Slop Ops 7, like the same kind of people that are like, they just bandwagon anything that's like, that has AI next to it, right? I said some to a guy yesterday, I was like, dude, AI could cure cancer and people would still find a way to, like, get people to not use the cure because it's like slop. It's like a slop cure or whatever. Like, people are just like, I think they're all just trying to gain traction and a following and like do things that are popular, and like hating on Black Ops 7 is really popular. And it's got a lot of bugs, but like it's way better than 6, and 6 had way better numbers. It's just so funny. Anyway, so getting into what we are going to be doing today, I wanted to do some concept art. I'll be in charge of the colors. This guy sees in gray, black, and white, but I know the colors. Who told you about hex codes? I'm virtually useless. That's right. Programming, if it's taught me one thing, it's you can circumvent color blindness with hex codes. So just getting into what we're gonna get into. I think it's this one. Yeah. Please don't. Okay. Bam. Piskel. This is just like what I usually use to make my sprites for like the Snake game and stuff. This is a little bigger. I think this is 256 by 256, so a lot more area to work with. And I kind of just wanted to do some concept art today, because like that was a really big sticking point for me when I was doing the Snake game, and I feel like I did all the coding, and it was really exciting and really fun and like rewarding. And then like when I got to all the art stuff and then like all the bugs that went into the cosmetics, I just felt burnt out because it wasn't any of the functionality of the game. It was just some dumb cosmetic that like I didn't care about. The player would probably care about it, but me making the game right now, I could give a shit. And so I want to try to do this game idea that I'm having. And I just want to say right now, I don't even know the loop. In my head, it's always a roguelite, right? If I'm going to make a game, it's just going to be a replayable roguelite. It'd be cool to make like a full in-depth story, but like, again, like, that'll be next. You know what I mean? And like maybe it'll even be this one. Like I'm not even committed to a roguelite. Like I want to try it, and I know how I sound when I say this, but I really don't care. I want to try to innovate in a way that just feels different. And so I feel like I always think in like these boxes when I'm like going over the game loop, and then when I actually have the loop set up, I can really expand and flex my, you know, gamer muscles a little bit. But it's I don't know. So let's just get into this right now. So first one, we gotta do alpha, right? Greek alphabet, alpha. Alpha's pretty cool. So we'll just get a nice white background here. And now we need to, I'm trying to think. I feel like, what would be a good color? That seems about right. That's probably orange. See, this is why this is tough live, because I'm going to try to do this. That's definitely orange. That looks close enough. So, gotta kind of make it like that, you know, for the A. I know this is really basic looking, but I swear there's something else we're gonna do with it. So we'll go a little smaller. Just gotta be precise. I do want this part to be a little more pronounced, kind of like that. And then in this part right here, I don't love the rectangle because it looks so stiff. And we need some like gray, but we'll see how that looks. So we'll go. I don't love that color actually. Is this closer to what I'm looking for? Yeah, that's close enough. So we gotta make it kind of jagged, like kind of like that. There's a science to this. There's a science to this. Hey, you're not doing anything right now. All right? I'm not an artist. This is honestly practice more than anything, cuz like I don't even know if I want the game to be fully 2D. It'd be cool to start experimenting with like 2.5 stuff, but again, what could this be? Well, it's alpha, right? It's alpha with like this gray splotch right here. Let's like touch this up a little more. Make it feel a little more. Honestly, just fill that in, yeah. Well, I didn't want to do that. That's fine. That's kind of what I was looking for. Kind of like that. And then we can grab this. Get really thin with it. And we just kind of add like a little aura. Oh, that's not the right placement. Like right here, maybe? No. Like right here? No. Come on. Like that? Okay, wait, that's exactly actually what I'm looking for. And you do something like that. Okay, now we're cooking. Alright. So what is this? Don't worry about it right now. Just... We're just trying to feel it out. Because I know what this is going to do, but like obviously you don't. Probably just like 3's probably good. No, 4. Yeah. That's too big. That's way too big. It should be like that. Oh no. Oh my gosh, this mouse. I need a new mouse, dude. It like double clicks. It's so annoying. Yeah, then we'll just make that a little longer. Make that a little longer. Make that a little longer. Gosh, I gotta trim that. Gotta trim that. Like that. 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 Yeah. Zoom out. And then what would... All right, all right, all right. So now I'm gonna talk it out. So this is alpha, right? This is the alpha. What I'm just calling right now the alpha glyph in this thing I'm trying to figure out. So alpha is associated with Gaia, right? Mother Earth. So this is the ring of Gaia. So this is an item you get in the game that basically, if you want to think of it like zombies, this is Juggernog, right? This is, it doesn't work the same at all, but like it's a health-related equipable item associated with Gaia. And so I'm thinking like maybe like some moss on this rock right here might add like a little something to that. But I don't know a good moss color. Like that maybe? And just do some specs like probably on this side just so it looks that doesn't look great at all. Maybe like that. No. Dude. If I wasn't colorblind, I swear it wouldn't be fair. Like, it actually wouldn't be fair how fast I could run through trying to design stuff. That actually looks good. Okay, yeah, that's good. Just, you know, some nice moss accents, but like not perfect. And I get it kind of looks like part of the ring. It does look like part of the ring. Dang it. Yeah, the hex code, I know, but like I'm trying to feel it. I'm trying to feel it out. I don't know. That's fine for me right now. Alright, so this is Gaia, the Ring of Gaia. So what would make this... Yeah, I feel like this has got to be 3D, because like even 2D, like you can just draw, like I'll show you how to make anything look better. Literally all you have to do... Oh, jeez. I don't want to click all these, but might have to. So you kind of just outline everything, and it makes it look like 50 times sharper, but then I do stuff like that. Probably just use stroke. And so hopefully this will just kind of give it a little more, I don't know. But yeah, my eyesight's really bad as well. I don't think I meant to do that one. Dang it, not that one either. Ah! Give me that one. Give me that one. Yeah, I don't know why I'm sweating this right now. Like, oh my goodness. You can see why I play on a controller, not keyboard and mouse. Even though actually that might help. Now I think about it, it's not a bad idea. Just for fun. Alright. You can see it's already starting to look a little... That actually looks worse. I feel like that looks worse. I like that a little more. Alright. Oh yeah, we can probably add something like on the ring itself. I feel like some like yeah, like this kind of. Won't you run away with me? That one got a little messed up, I kind of like it. Gotta know which mistakes to leave in. Which can be a bad habit. All right, this is good enough for me right now. So this is just the Ring of Gaia. Health related item. It increases your health when you have it. You're limited, right? You can't just carry all the glyphs or whatever, but and even then, like, as I'm thinking about it, like, it's more so I'm trying to think of how you could make this system interact in a way that feels intuitive, right? Like, you're using the Greek letters, Alpha, Gaia, like, you can kind of tie a lot of things together, like, Tau is Atlas, right? It already looks like it's, like, it's just T-posing, but it's like, you know, Tau looks like a structure, was all I was getting at. And so let's create another one. I should have the same settings. Oh, I don't. Okay. No, that'd be a little too big. Alright. So this next one, we gotta do Tau. We gotta do Tau, which is Atlas, as I said. So we need to do some sort of... like, what would Atlas... maybe like cuffs, you know? Like for your wrist. What are those called? I know there's like gauntlets and stuff, but the Atlas gauntlet, I feel like that's a weapon though. And like this isn't a weapon. It's more of like a kind of like the ring was. We'll just go with a chain. I feel like that's fine, at least for now. So kind of make a chain. And then, yeah, see, the thing is, there's like all these like shortcuts you can do to like duplicate stuff, but the problem is like flipping it gets really annoying, and it's like, I don't know, it like looks weird sometimes when everything's perfectly symmetrical. Probably a hot take, but I don't know. And then at the bottom of this, we need a, right, like something that hangs off it. The rest of the world glow. Please? Dude, thank you. Turn today. Oh, that's not it. Till the sun fades away. Yeah. Come on. Obviously, this is just like initial concept stuff. I don't know why I keep saying that, but probably just self-conscious about how it all looks. All right. Yeah, and then they were just like kind of. I'd rather lay by your side and let the rest. Song has made me cry too many times to admit. All right, good enough. So this is the Atlas chain of Atlas. Would Atlas Shackles be cooler? You know, like limits, it like takes your hands away or something, and it's like insanely powerful. I feel like that'd be something interesting. Let's just stick with this for right now, though. What would be hanging at the end of an Atlas necklace, right? Like, I feel like a needle would be funny, because, like, Atlas is so strong, and it's so it's just, like, you know, it's like a necklace of roids. Oh, honestly, what I'm gonna do, just keep it simple. That looks oblong. And that actually looks kind of good. Like how it hooks right there. That. Sorry. Now we need like a. Oh, let me. Hex code forest green, please and thank you. Thank you. Alright. New color. Oh shit. It's been a minute. There we go. Alright, now we got some earth. Is it just because it's the same? Okay. That's fun. Okay. So, oh yeah, we need white. So we'll go white. Just like... You know. Oh wait, it shouldn't be white. It should be like a... You know, kind of a tint. Kind of like that. Just so it contrasts the white background. I could change the white background, but it's gonna mess with these, so I'm not going to. Oh yeah, so Antarctica on the bottom. I mean, the Arctic Circle's like that, basically. Which, I don't know why I made it bigger than Antarctica. That's fine. Alright. Now, where are we at? 27 minutes. That's honestly way better than I thought we'd be at. This stuff usually takes me a minute, so I wanted to try doing it live just to, like, I don't know. I was talking so much shit yesterday. I honestly felt bad. Because, like, the person, all they did was submit a perk idea. Like, they weren't hurting anybody. They weren't, like, being negative whatsoever. I was the one being negative. But I don't know, it just really frustrated me because it seems like people don't know what makes, right? Everyone likes different things about games, but like, I'm really being serious about this. There are only so many things, okay? And so if you, I don't know. I'm just gonna move on. I don't really want to talk about it. So let's get like a little... That guy. I don't even know what that's supposed to be. Let's retry. Let's just kind of do like that for like South America. We do like probably be like kind of over here. It's kind of like that. And yeah, just like I feel like that's not bad. I should probably add some water to a couple spots, like just kind of separate that a little more. I don't know if that's accurate. That's just like, in my eyes, it should be more like this, like that. What am I missing? All right, the Atlas necklace. Huzzah! What does it do? Well, believe it or not, there's like a bunch of stuff it does. So for right now, I'll go into the initial thought process with like why, right? This is the Atlas glyph. This is Tau. We already did Alpha, now we got Tau. So you can have 24 things in the game. Well, that's where I'm getting like a little stuck trying to think of the game design, because if there's only 24 things, that is kind of limiting. And so what if you made each one like its own thing that like was like, it was cool enough and powerful enough, each one of the 24 things, that like it had so much depth to it that you couldn't possibly think that 24 is too few, right? You'd go, there's so much depth, how am I ever gonna get to, you know, how am I ever gonna get all these maxed out, or like whatever the heck. And so with the Atlas necklace, it has like a passive when you first pick it up, and then I'm trying to figure out like the upgrade system. But like the idea is you would pick one of 5 upgrades, and then the necklace goes up to level 5. And so there's 25 upgrades for each thing. So it's 24 by 25, right? And then after you max something out at like let's say you get the Atlas necklace to level 5, where like all the crazy stuff is, you can, for lack of a better term, I know this is hacky, you can prestige the necklace and keep one of your 5 upgrades that you got on the way. You can keep one of those and then reset, reset, keep like your crazy ones, or maybe there's like a level 3 one that you need to like switch into a different build later. But it's basically you can pick how it's kind of like augments, if you could pick the augments mid-game and then also somehow get all the augments. You know what I mean? And I know that would be completely broken if you just have all augments at once. Like if you have turtle shell and reactive armor and probiotic and iron core and stuff, like that's Cold War. Like that, you might as well be playing Cold War with how that kind of feels. And so, like, let's take this necklace for example. This is the camping necklace, if you want to think of it that way. This is a camper's necklace. This is a camping paradise, right? All I was thinking of, right? Zombies. Or anything where it's like, you know, horde, round base, whatever. You can train, you can camp, you can, I mean, those are the main strategies, right? Like you either move or you stay put. And so the Atlas necklace is for when you stay put. So, plus 25% reload speed and damage when standing still, basically. Again, like, I don't know if I want to make it a roguelite, wave-based thing or whatever. This is just, like, how I'm starting to get everything down. I really don't want it to be a roguelite, though. But it probably will have features similar to it. And so, yeah. There's a 3-second buff timer, basically, where you have to be still for 3 seconds for it to work, and then your reload speed's 25% faster and you do 25% more damage. Just off rip. And like, let's say, I have no idea how this would work, you level up the necklace. Maybe you like use it with score points or currency that you have. Maybe it's tied to using the necklace, right? Like using the buff, like if you're just running around it, you wouldn't gain experience on it or something. There's definitely a way to do it. But so like for instance, the level 1, you'd come across, and sorry, I just have like my spreadsheet where I was coming up with this stuff. You have like your level 1 upgrades come up. There's gonna be like 5 different things. It's gonna be like grip, lazy assault, magnet, tank, and impatient. Those are your 5 choices. And what do? Grip, when the buff is active, so if you've been still for 3 seconds, recoil is reduced 90% and bullet spread is 0. You're just going to be shooting laser beams when you're fully still. And again, like, this is factoring in regular guns, and like, I'm honestly sick of just regular guns. I feel like stuff like water guns, slingshots, dart guns, those are all so underutilized in horde modes. But it is utilized in Bloons Tower Defense, which is cool. Lazy assault, plus 25% damage when active, so this just takes you from 25 to 50 basically when it's active. Magnet, loot, and orbs are pulled towards you. Orbs, don't worry about them right now. It was just with the ring stuff. But basically, because you're camping, you know, if you want to run and go grab something or whatever, like a drop or equipment or something, it'll be pulled towards you to a certain threshold, basically. So you can keep your timer going. Tank is just plus 50% health regeneration when active. That's honestly probably the worst one, because as I'm coming up with this, you're a one hit, right? It's just like extremely punishing. So like health regen is good once you get more health, like you get the Ring of Gaia, so you can take more than one hit. But yeah, it would more so be like after you prestiged already and you're like already kind of built up and you're like, okay, now I need 50% regen. And then impatient, reduce the timer by 1 second, so this just means it takes 2 seconds of standing still instead of 3. And then, for instance, for level 2, right, we got sniper, FMJ, fleece, crawl, and overload. So sniper, it removes all range debuffs. So like, you know, I'm not a huge fan of range debuffs, honestly, but like, it does make sense to have that, but also it doesn't at the same time. And so this was just factoring in like regular guns and stuff. Probably not that great, but you can always switch it. +1 pierce when active. So if you're standing still, all your weapons are going to go through an extra enemy. Very, very good. Plus 25% econ while active, so you can spec into econ for it if you're feeling it, but it's only when it's active. It's not like overall. There will be stuff for just like blanket econ. Crawl. Enemies move 10% slower. So this is while it's active. I was thinking it'd be fun to have it just be a blanket, like enemies move 5% slower all the time. But I feel like 10% slower is a difference you notice, and it's really strong, and so I feel like it has to be active to use it. But like you can choose how it's active later, so I feel like that's balanced. And overload, the timer persists for 1 second after you start moving. So like if you're getting, like you get an extra second after you start moving. Pretty self-explanatory. I think that's fun. So now we get to level 3, and just where my mind's at, level 3 is where you get to basically the point where you're picking a lane on what you want this necklace to do for you, and then by the time you get to 5, it's like pick which broken thing you want, and it's, you know, it's just, they're all good. But so level 3 upgrades, we have pop, carry, leg day, race to 0, and frag mag. I really like these. So pop, why is it white? Okay, white on yellow is so hard to read. Store up a charge and double speed after running from still. So kind of like Blaze Phase, but you don't have to crouch. So it's basically like if you're completely still for like, let's say 10 seconds, and then you run, you'll get double movement speed for like, I think the idea was for 2 seconds, and then if you have overload with the timer persists, that'll add on as well. So you get like, if you stack them up, you can get like a lot of speed boost basically, and your buffs will persist. Carry, timer persists 2 seconds. So if you did the +1 and +2, now it's going to persist 3 seconds after you start moving, which is cool. This is my favorite one, and I don't know how it's not in zombies to some extent. Like it's so simple. And I know like macros could ruin it, but like that's probably why. But crouching reloads or refills. I feel like it should be reloads from stock because refills would just be busted. But yeah, crouching reloads part of your mag. So you're standing still. You already got fast reload speed, but then like what if you just don't want to reload? You want to keep killing, you want to keep spraying, you want to do whatever. All you have to do is crouch, stand up while you're firing. Just keep crouching and standing up, and you'll keep reloading your gun. Phenomenal. Raced to 0. Reduce timer by 1 second. So if you did, 1, you did -1, then minus another one. Now you're at only 1 second of standing still, and so it's way quicker. And at that point, if it's 1 second of staying still, you actually can run around a lot more, and then just stop for a second, and then like take out stuff. And then like you could have the timer then persist. You see what I'm getting at? Then frag mag, reloading, throws a grenade. The idea is like you reload, put the new one in, then you toss out the old mag, and then it explodes. I think that's just fun. And like these other ones are pretty good, so I felt like it was just a fun one to throw in. Now level 4, this is just going to be like more of what this thing already does. So close quarters, increase melee damage while active. If they get up in your face, you get better melee. Increase mag size by 50% flat. It's called extension. It's not like only when active, because that would be a nightmare to code for. It's just a flat 50% increase mag size basically. And then green light, timer persists 4 seconds. And so here's where it's fun, because like if you didn't spec anything into timer persists, you could go timer persists plus 4 seconds, and now you went from 0 to 4. That's really, really strong. Double deal, double weapon projectiles while active. Yeah. Double up. Double max HP while active. Now this is where you might want regen, and like, depending on how much health you can get, you get this thing going. But again, they're not like double projectiles and green light are probably the best ones, but they're all technically good. Obviously I haven't tested any of these because we're not even freaking close. We're just shooting the shit. Alright, now level 5. Catcher, double dip, trouble, negative, and belt fed. So catcher, buff stay active while crouched. Yeah, so if you stay still, you get the buff, and then you crouch, you can keep moving and keep the buff. And it's just called catcher. Double dip, double econ while active. So if you went plus 25%, right, if base is 100%, now you're at 125%, you kick it up to 250 now. That's pretty good. Or just 200. And there's other econ stuff that would really stack with it, so it's really not that bad. Trouble, triple damage while active. Right, so like how are you going to pick between, you keep the buffs while you're crouched and walking around. That's good. Double my econ, that could be good for upgrading all my other stuff. Triple damage while active, I mean that one's jumping out at me like crazy. Negative, carry an additional glyph, because we're Atlas, this is what carries you. You can hold another glyph. It's incredible. And then use ammo from stock, belt fed. You might think I'm putting too many good upgrades that are already known for horde-based things on just like one item. But you can do that with every single item, and just like I was talking about, you make it extremely punishing. You make everything broken. You want to know how this is broken? You prestige the necklace, dude. You go carry an additional glyph, reset it, and then you go back through it. You can get a whole other glyph going. Let's say you don't want that yet, though. Let's say you just want triple damage, like you've been having fun with everything. You're like, I like triple damage when it's active. I don't want to lose that. You'll always have triple damage. Like, you prestige it, you can go back through, and guess what? You can go through as many times as you want, and you don't even have to prestige it if you don't want to. You just keep your 5 and then, like, you know, keep going. But you have the option, right? Because eventually, I think it would take, right, there's 25 upgrades, it would take like 20 prestiges or something, but like theoretically, you could have just on the Atlas necklace, you'd have 25 upgrades on it and have everything I said. You use ammo from stock, your crouch, you keep everything, triple damage, crouching up and down reloads your stuff, bigger mag size, double projectiles when active, like timer persists like 6 seconds and it only takes a second to start. Like, I think this is a really fun item. And again, in my head it's for, right, like a zombies like, but if it's that good in zombies, imagine how good it could be in something different, unique, something that hits the spot. I don't know. But that's kind of all I wanted to get into today. I feel like another art thing, and then, oh, I guess I could go through the, Ring of Gaia. It's very similar. It's just like, you know, double damage at 1 HP. That one's actually kind of funny because, well, the ring gives you +1, but like theoretically, if it wasn't +1 automatically, then like you would just always be at 1 HP, and like that'd be really, really strong. But you get +1 anyway. So the second you pick up the ring, you're a 2-hit. Awesome. Once you upgrade it, you can, you know, double your damage at 1 HP. You can get another, right, take another hit, faster regen, increase your speed at full health, and increase your econ at full health. And so then, you know, stuff like you take 0 damage from environmental stuff that would like hurt you by like running over or jumping on it. No fall damage. Oh, if something hits you, right, it gets damaged and pushed back slightly, but you still take the hit, but the enemy would get damaged and pushed back, kind of like a ass version of Widow Wine, but it's a level 2 upgrade, so like, it doesn't matter. No damage on the first hit after recovering from 1 HP. So like, if you only have 2 HP, you take a hit, bam, now you're basically a 3-hit because you recovered from 1 HP, which is cool. Drop health orbs, those are the orbs I was talking about. Half all status buff durations. There's probably gonna be stuff with like bosses or like something, you know, like slowing you down, like maybe it's like cold or something, like I don't know. Again, yellow on white. So yeah, this is where it kind of gets good. So this was one we'll get this one up. This is one that I learned from my snake game, and we're gonna call it the same thing, burrow. If you from now on, if you crouch and you buy this upgrade, you're gonna dig a hole in the ground for 1.5 seconds, everything's gonna run away, and then you pop right back up. That's it. And I just think it's funny. Because it is a get out of jail free card. You know what I mean? Blood debt, minus 25% score on hit. Or sorry, I was referring to blood debt, but it's called anything but. Yeah, and that's just you can basically make it so every time you take a hit, it only hurts your econ. Could be strong. Again, like, I don't know how any of this game is gonna work, but like, it could be good. Just trying to think of how this stuff could interact, how I feel going through each one, and like what build would I pick, then where would I prestige, which one would I, you know, want to stick with. Gaia's Greed, a golem bodyguard, aka kind of like a, you know, like the Wisp T monkey that like attracts enemies. You'll just kind of have a golem following you around, that like pops up, and he just kind of distracts enemies and he only takes like 3 hits, then he dies, so you can like defend him or just like use him for crowd control, and then he'll be gone. But then like he will come back again. I don't know if it's gonna be round based. Figure it out. Juggernaut plus 2 HP. Cool. Oak's Wish. It's basically Dying Wish, but you have to stay completely still, and so you could be good with the Atlas necklace. I'm just saying. But it, yeah, it's just Dying Wish. You have to stay still, and then you have to like get kills while staying still, in order to move again. But like you take lethal damage, you have to stay completely still, and then you'll have like 5 seconds of invulnerability, and you gotta keep killing stuff, and then eventually like you'll be able to move. But you know, if you don't kill stuff, then you're gonna die when the invincibility runs out. Now level 4 stuff, Ubergen, regen and orbs overheal 1 HP. The regen's slightly slower, but yeah, so basically your health regen will overheal you. Orbs will overheal you. The health regen one will be slightly slower than like orb drops, but it also depends on how you're playing. Strike Last, basically if you're at 1 HP, you get plus 50% fire rate and reload time. Just kind of like that strike first stuff, like building for 1 HP. Probably not awesome, but like there's stuff you could do with it. God Swap, this is probably my favorite one. No damage swapping weapons for 1.5 seconds. So if you swap weapons, you're invulnerable for 1.5 seconds. I know it could be abused because you just run around swapping weapons, but like at some point you're gonna have to shoot your weapon. So if you just shoot, swap, shoot, swap, shoot, swap. I get it would be abused. I'd have to balance that. I just feel like that's a really good skill one to throw in there, where like you're, maybe there's a cooldown on it or something, but just like swap, like you're about to get hit by something, you swap weapons, bam, oh, I'm good. Maybe it's only good for 1 hit. Like 1 hit around or something. So like you can keep spamming the swap in case you get hit, but then like you only actually take 1 or 2 hits or something. I feel like that'd be fair. Phantom, you can run through 3 enemies, like around or like whatever. And so that's just like, you know, you're cornered, bam, I ran through 1 enemy, bam, I ran through 2 enemies, bam, I ran through a 3rd, can't run through a 4th. This is basically Ghost Tail, which was my favorite upgrade in the Snake game. Drastically increase shield durability, Yoke. And so there's a front shield that you can carry, and then there's like armor, like a back shield that you can have, like classic zombies, is just like in my head. And so this would just like vastly increase its durability, so you don't like lose it, or like, and I still gotta figure out like how you would lose it and get it back, but yeah, so now we're at the level 5 ones, and I'm gonna shut up. So, Fleeting Frenzy. Every minus 1 HP weapon fires plus 1 projectile. Let's think about that for a second. So let's say you're at 6 HP somehow. You get hit down to 1 HP. Your gun now fires, like, let's just say it's an SMG, it fires 1 bullet. You're down 5 HP from your max. You now fire 6 bullets. Whenever you fire your SMG or whatever. It freaking crazy. Could be really, really strong, especially if you can build your health up, like insanely broken. Gobble. Orbs at full health increase max HP. So if you're at full HP, just like grabbing orbs, you can get up to like 100 HP. Like, again, I don't know what the orb drop rates would be, but like, you could get up to 100 HP, and then like if you prestige it, and then you do Fleeting Frenzy, and like you get like 100 shots every time you fire your gun. That's the kind of stuff I want someone to look at and go, oh my god, I got a prestigious thing 4 times, so I can have this build I'm looking for on it. Then Gaia Colada, at less than max HP, leave a rocky trail behind that trips enemies. You know, shout out Banana Colada. This is just the Gaia version of it, where it trips enemies with rocks. Goggles, all crits drop orbs. So like if this is what I'm talking about, like if you go all the way through and then you're like, hey, all crits drop orbs, and then if I'm at max HP, orbs increase my max HP. That's crazy. And then run, plus 10% movement speed every minus 1 HP for max. Kind of just the same thing. Like whenever you're lower on health, you can zoom. If you're at, 11 HP, you go down to 1, all of a sudden you're moving twice as fast. I know it's not as broken as some of the other ones, but you have to keep in mind, because you can get all of them, they all shouldn't be necessarily as broken as another one. There should just not be one that's better than all of them. There should at least be something, right? And I really like movement speed, and I think it's insanely underrated, especially for if you have someone with health. Like, this is for health. What keeps you from losing health? Running away. Come on. Oh, maybe it should just be a blanket. That's what it should be. It should just be a blanket movement speed buff. Because there was the one before, increase speed at max health, so we would just like double that or something, or like double movement speed at full health. Like, yeah, because that'd be like just as broken that you'd be like, how do I pick? And that's what I want someone to. I want someone to be paused and be like, how the frick do I choose between all these awesome shits? And then they die and they go, no, I was so close to having the perfect thing I wanted. And that's just what we're going for. I'm gonna, here, we're gonna cut back here. I'm gonna save these, and I wasn't born yesterday, so I'm not showing you. I'm not showing you this. Thank you. And then you should have seen how I just spelled chain. That was crazy. Alright. We got them both saved. Yeah, maybe we'll throw them at the end of the game when it's like, hey, here's the original concept art, and here's a link to the video when we made it. Not again. Nobody cares. Dibs on the outro. Now, Leo only has one way to close out this show. It's his patented song, and so I think instead we should try to leave people thinking on something. Yeah, but we started with that one. Okay. Yeah, no. We're just under an hour. We can think of something before the hour. Now, something quippy, just something to think about. Oh yeah, I really, if you made it this far in the video, I would love to hear ideas that everyone else has for, like, if you have a Greek letter that you see, I'm thinking like Psy kind of looks like a trident. Like, that's obviously going to be Poseidon. So I'm like, hey, trident melee weapon? Bam. Maybe it has like a ranged water thing it can do. Dibs! Exactly. So, I just kind of want to hear what ideas you guys have, or maybe like the loop that it could eventually be. We could always collab on it, but more importantly than anything, don't steal my stuff. I really don't care, but I've seen some whack things going on, like, artists that I follow, where, just some Indian dudes keep chopping up TikTok clips of all their videos and posting on TikTok, and now it's, I don't know, we live in a meta slave world. What is that what you were gonna do? Okay, Leo's mad because that's what he was gonna say. All I gotta say to you Maddox, Fire, all you guys running the meta, all you guys running some, I don't even know what the Yu-Gi-Oh meta is now. Is it still yummy? I don't know. Think for yourself. 'cause I won't be there for you.